today on DIY Willy. We're back with the big guns. Okay, I've almost got the clutch ready to come off. Just got to get the last bolt here with the chain guard. Makes it nice that these are notched so you can just slide it off. Just like that, okay? Now I got the... Now this hardware is the 5/16 by 24 that goes into the block and into the crank. So 5/16 uses a 1/2 inch wrench. Just get this stuff loose. Take this bolt out. I did put one on the clutch. Well, we'll leave it there. And then the set screws on the clutch are 1/8 Allen. We'll just run these out. Set screws out. Now the clutch will be ready to come off. I said the clutch will be ready to come off. I'll get a hammer, we'll knock it off. I gotta take the chain off anyway. Okay, I'll get back to that. Okay, so we have the clutch off. This is not the best clutch. Makes a lot of noise. The bushing in there is not the best. Don't know what brand it is. Well, it does say MS on the front. I don't exactly know what that stands for. Must be the manufacturer. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it apart and lubricate that bushing until my max torque gets here. Now hopefully I can get this snap ring off with these cheap snap ring pliers. And we sent it flying that way. Found it. Luckily it didn't go far. Okay, now we should just be able to slip this off. Oh boy, it's dry inside. I don't know if you can see that. But there's not a lick of oil or any lubrication on that. I'm gonna clean it up. And wow, that's what I suspected. It was dry. I'm gonna definitely lubricate it and hope it works better. Alright, so I have it. I got a few things out here to help me out. I've tried to clean up a little bit inside. I can use a little bit of WD-40, you know, good stuff here, to clean where the clutch rides, where the bushing and or the bearing, if you want to call it, rides. Now there is a washer here. You want to make sure that washer stays there. But just make sure there's no debris in there. It's nice and clean. Yeah, that looks a lot better. The same goes for inside the drum. Whew, it's been sitting in the sun for a little bit. I'm just gonna clean inside. You could use brake cleaner. You could use whatever. I just had this on hand, so I'm cleaning it all out. You don't want to put too much lubrication in these clutches because, you know, they work on friction. You know, it's a clutch. But to get it all nice and clean, I am using a little bit of that. And we'll get in there and clean it out, the bushing on the drum. Okay. Now, I've never tried this before. I know you can lubricate it here with a little bit of 30 weight, I've even used like bearing grease in the past. I don't have any 30 weight, but I do have some 530. I'm gonna use that, and I think I'm gonna try to mix a little bit of the assembly lube in there, and that'll make it a little thicker consistency. It might help hold it where it needs to be longer. I don't know, it's worth a try, right? It might be the wrong thing to do. I'm sure somebody out there will tell me if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but we're gonna make it. Just put a little bit in here, mix it up with the finger, and I'm not really measuring it out any. We'll just mix it up, make it all one single consistency, and then apply it to the clutch. Just right here where the bushing goes. Right? And I'll put a little bit more inside. I want that thing to be lubricated, man. I got a little bit of the cleaning liquid on the clutch parts, but that'll burn off. I mean, it's gonna get hot. Okay, so with a little bit of oil on both pieces, we can reassemble it like that. Oh, it's a lot quieter. That's what it needed, man. Okay, now let's play with that snap ring again. That dreaded snap ring. I should get some better tools for this stuff, but I'm gonna hold it with my fingers and see how much luck we have with it. We did good. Just kind of push it down into place and you hear it click. See that? Hear it click? Now it ain't going anywhere. Now we'll put it back on the engine, connect the chain, try it out. Alright, so I've got it put back on right now. I haven't tightened it up yet. I'll do that here in a second. Here's the bolt that goes into the crank. This is a 5/16 24 thread. It's got a good solid big washer with the right size hole, lock washer. And you know, I got it off Amazon, and there's the part number right there. You see it? Oh. Anyway, I'm going to use this one instead of the one I had. The other one I had was the right thread, the right bolt, but the wrong washer. So I'm going to use this one now and put it right there. Then we'll tighten up the set screws, put the chain back on, and put the cover back on, and take it for a ride. Whew, I got to say, guys, it's a hot one here in sunny Southern California. Just look at the sky. I mean, it's sunshine and like 80-some degrees today. This is March 2nd, as a matter of fact. Alright, so I've got this back together. Clutch is in, chain's on. It's ready to rip. Let's take it for a ride. Oh, I'm going to check and make sure it's got gas in it. And then we'll take it down the street. Alright guys, let's take it for a ride. I've got the GPS set up. Let's see what kind of speed we can get out of it. And have some fun. Alright, let's go. 34 miles an hour uphill. Incredible. Smooths out when you get it up at the higher speeds. Oh my gosh. Wow, that was a great ride. This little bike, I'm not quite sure what the max speed was. We'll check it here in a minute, but under full throttle, this thing feels like it's floating, like it's gonna lift off and fly. Many times I felt the rear wheel kind of lift up like it was bouncing on the road and almost floating. Crazy feeling. Crazy feeling. So the engine still has a noise on the inside. Not quite sure what that is. I've ordered a new side cover gasket so I can get the take the cover off and check inside and just give the engine a once over like I said in the last video. I got a few parts coming. If I'm going to open it up, I might as well take the governor out, which I'll lose my throttle. So I have another throttle linkage setup coming from OMB Warehouse. And yeah, otherwise I want to leave the carburetors and the exhaust exactly as it is right now. I'm not going to modify any of that yet. Not a stage 1 yet or anything. Just leaving it just as it is and just changing, because I'll probably pull the governor while I have the side cover off, and I'll have to have another linkage to run it. But other than that, it's going to stay exactly like this. It's plenty fast enough. Eventually, yeah, I'll put in a billet rod and a billet flywheel and probably a Makuni and put it up over here like I do on the other bike and change the exhaust and do all those fun stuff that makes it really crazy. But this bike is insane as it is, and for being so small, it's plenty fast. Let's take a look at what the GPS said. So I don't know if you can see that, but the GPS says 34.6 miles per hour and an average of 16 miles an hour. And some of that was climbing that hill. You'll see in the video, and if you hear me talking, that it was accelerating pretty fast all the time. And I backed out of it a couple times just because it just... Anyway, 34.6 miles an hour. Can you see that? It's plenty fast enough for this little bike. I know Mighty, the other one with the swing arm, will do 50 miles an hour, but it has bigger wheels and tires and feels a little more stable. It feels like it's planted more on the ground than this one does. I thought these tires would make a big improvement, and they did. They did over the big wide ones that were on there. But Mighty does feel a little better. So that was great. Probably end this video here. And thanks for watching. Got that clutch lubricated, got rid of some of the noise that it had. And yeah, as soon as those parts come in for the side cover, the new gasket rather, I'll go ahead and get the engine opened up and check out what's going on the inside and remove the governor and all that kind of stuff. But I'm waiting for those parts to come, and they should be here in the next couple of days. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for those parts, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching, and give it a thumbs up. Share these videos with all your friends. Put out the word that DIY Willie's building mini bikes and trucks and cars and bugs and everything else, and I'll eventually get a video out on that thing. But for now, I'm working on the mini bikes, and the Samurai is broken right now. The clutch cable went out of it, and I'm waiting on parts to get that repaired as well. It seems the little bolt that goes on the clutch adjustment is what's stripped out, and it damaged the cable. Well, I was able to buy a new cable, but the bolt for the clutch adjustment and the spring comes from India, and well, shipping's taking a while. But it'll get here probably towards the middle of the month, and I'll do a video on changing the clutch cable and getting that thing back on the road. And like I said, thanks for watching. I always come back to DIY Willy, where we're working on fun things like the 224, the 212s, the 79cc's, the Samurai, the Silverado, the Bug, all the fun stuff. And I'll see you later.